Right.
So, greetings all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the global citizens and the citizen scientists spread all across the globe. We, as iSTEAM, welcome all the astronomy enthusiasts to the curtain raiser event of yet another cycle of our flagship program under iSTEAM Educational Continuum Organization. The program liked, loved, followed by people all across the globe. Definitely, it's the time for Ice Team Moon over us yet again. So I take this opportunity to invite up on the virtual dais the director and CEO of Educational Continuum Organization, Miss Bonnie B. Thurber, to kindly address us at this all important occasion when we are just going to go for the curtain raiser of this flagship program. She shall be taking us to a rich journey of what Moon Over Us has been through in its, you can say, formative since its inception in the late 2000s and till 2023 and in the days to come. How it has shaped, how it is evolving, and what are all the future prospects and her experiences as well. So, without further ado, I welcome Bonnie ma'am up on this virtual dais. Over to you, Bonnie ma'am.
Thank you very much, Amritanshu. I am very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to see the others that are here. I guess they are hidden, which is okay. Who do I see? I see SN Sugumar, who has been with us for a long time. I see Suresh Meduru, who is a teacher here. I see Sovan. I need somebody to
Acharya. Acharya.
Tanyan, and of course Amritanshu. And it's really my pleasure and privilege to say hello to you and good evening. I am actually, it's morning here and I'm in my coat because it's cold and the heat is not turned up. So it's very interesting. I guess it's like I'm on the dark side of the moon right now. We have a lot of activities planned for Moon Over Us this time, and it's organized in a different fashion. So I think, besides welcoming you all, I'm going to turn this back over to Amritanshu and let him talk a little bit more about Moon Over Us. And again, thank you for being here. And I hope we can have a great learning time like we have before. This is the most exciting program for me because students learn so much. Okay, thank you so much. And I'm turning this back over to Amritanshu.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Bonnie ma'am, for your insights into this, you can say, brief introductory welcome address. And definitely, we will come back to you over the course of time once we talk a little bit about, as you have given a hint of, that this time, this current cycle, or that is the to be launched cycle of Moon Over Us, will be Moon Over Us with a little bit of difference. As I mentioned, and if you have followed this particular, if you all have followed this particular program for last few years or a few cycles, you might have noticed the evaluation that also the evolution that this entire program has undergone through, beginning as a STEM challenge that I always mention as a STEM activity of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This with the inputs from the educators, the teachers, and the participatory students from all around the globe, from, as I always mention, from all the four hemispheres of the globe. Four in the sense, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, separated by an equator, and eastern hemisphere, and Western Hemisphere separated by a prime meridian. So from all across the four hemispheres around the globe, on the basis of the inputs, this STEM project, it evolved slowly and slowly into a STEAM project with the induction of a form of arts into it. And after a successful couple of years or more, I think, of running under this STEAM branding, this project is now almost ready to cross over to a third stage, one of the unique in its own kind, evolving as one of the choicest stream projects with the amalgamation of reading into this project as well. So now I formally welcome you all on behalf of the iSTEAM Educational Continuum family to this stream project, Monoverse. So this is a small verbal introduction of what we are going up to. So now let me just take you by sharing the screen into the world of Moon Over Us, that what's going on into the minds of the iSTEAM Cosmic Academy management team, and what is new, what have been the changes that have been drafted by the editorial board of iSTEAM Educational Continuum, what has the how the perspective has shifted, or the limelight, how limelight has been distributed evenly amongst the teachers and the students, how the dimensions of the background and the foreground have been redefined. Come on, let's see into the course. So I'm just sharing this, my screen, to all of you, in front of all of you. I hope that the screen has become visible. So first of all, I just would request all the concerned teachers, educators, and the to be team mentors, to be team leaders under this upcoming cycle of Moonoverse, come join hands with us by enrolling, making accounts onto the website of iSTEAM Educational Continuum Organization. So we shall share this website link with all the teachers and educators in a few moments from now. So as you can see, once you are enrolled, you get access not only to this redefined, revamped course, but at the same time, the other offerings that iSTEAM Cosmic Academy has on offer in the form of the projects of science, specially speaking physics and astronomy for the astronomy enthusiasts all around the globe. So this time, as I have always already mentioned, it's a stream project. It has been redefined, rewritten, and these are a few of the, you can say, team members whom you shall be interacting with in the days to come. And as continuing the tradition of the traditional moon over us, definitely this is an amalgam of observational as well as cultural astronomy with a topping of technology, engineering, and mathematics over it. So it begins as conventionally as it can be, talking about the phases of the moon from the perspective of a northern hemisphere observer and a southern hemisphere observer, taking the videos that are in the public domain courtesy to NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. So people, they can enjoy, they can build an aptitude towards this upcoming project, that what all, how journey can be fascinating when you are looking across the phases of the moon. So this definitely is a simulation, but it can stimulate you or facilitate you later in the stages when the actual project comes up into the play in the course of the activities during this project. It can stimulate you that how interesting, how deeply revealing the features of or the phases of the moon can be when you try to decipher the mystery of cosmos. So after this small pictorial introduction, you definitely shall see a little bit of changes, and without you can say going much into the details, because it will be a fun spoiler for you all if I go into details. So the request is you all can create an account, go into the subtle details of this particular course. There are, especially for the teachers and the team mentors, the visualization of the phases of the moon and the library resources that have been added. So these are for the self-motivated exponents of cosmos. They can go through it. It promotes, because this time we have tried to, you can say, undergo a stream challenge, developing higher order thinking skills under the domain of two things. People may find it contrasting in the beginning, but there are these two things, they are interrelated, or in fact correlated somewhere in the backdrop. First one is self-regulated learning, and second one is experiential learning. So we have tried to make an amalgam. Again, I am using the word amalgam, or in fact a pure scientific, you can say, compound of experiential learning and self-regulated learning in on this platform of the project. So this time, the major change that you, as even as a team mentor, you are going to encounter is there are going to be a set of pre-project engagement activities, especially aiming at team mentors, so that they are comfortable with the different strands of astronomy that we are trying to knit together while dealing with the students. So the comfort level of the team mentors has been accounted for this time, after taking the feedback in the previous, after analyzing the feedback of the team mentors, especially from the previous cycles of the moon over us. So there will be a different technical sessions. There could be recorded, pre-recorded sessions or the live sessions, depending upon the demand of the team mentors, at maximum for 7 to 8 days. And in this meantime, you know what it shall happen is, what we shall do is, we shall be rolling out a pre-project survey, especially aiming at the students for the enrollment to the team mentors. And this time onwards, team mentors will be responsible for filling up, for building up their own team, and ensuring that the students, they fill up this pre-project survey to become a part of their team as part of this project. So this time it has been a shared responsibility between the project managers of iSTEAM as well as the team mentors. So the limelight previously, which was shared solely by the iSTEAM management, it has been evenly distributed amongst the team mentors as well as the management. So we have tried to raise the bar, raise the level of the involvement of the team mentors this time. Then, of course, we shall be engaging as before, no change in this, online discussion forums, and in, you can say, a time bound manner. But this time it will be a little bit of more change. The change is that after a little bit of orientation on a particular topic or a sub theme within the project, the time shall belong to the teams, which shall get, you can say, about 7 to 8 minutes on, you can say, a rotationary basis. On a, or a roster will be made out of the enrolled teams, and they shall get 7 to 8 minutes on a particular day, on a particular meeting, to talk about their experiences, their accomplishments, their difficulties, and they can interact, they can give us their input, they can provide us their feedback, so that we can, you can say, make their journey more smooth, and they can also perform in an outstanding manner during the course of the project. So this time, it not simply will be the classes, it will be online discussion forums. It will be, we are focusing more on interacting with the students, with the team mentors as well, in a time bound manner. Then definitely the add-on resources are available both for the teachers as well as the students regarding the phases of the moon. As I have always mentioned, this can be treated as a part of the self-regulated learning. So after this starts the real experiential learning. And this time we have tried to amalgamate, after weighing in the resources available from the students coming from the different backgrounds, we have tried to make a level playing field as iSTEAM management. The form is like this: observing and capturing the phases of the moon. So the student has, or the participant has to capture the moon via the use of technology, that is smartphone. And what if the technology or the smartphone is not available, or there are a few constraints in the availability of the smartphone, because we are not aware that what is the background of that particular student. If it is too humble, then he or she, it would be difficult for him or her to have a smartphone available all the time. And it also depends upon the connectivity levels and the, you can say, how much, what is the efficiency of the smartphone or the mobile phone that is into the hands of that particular participant. So we have introduced another activity that the imaging is also really, really possible, not only via the smartphone, but via art and sketching the traditional method. So this is a level playing field. Those who can do those of you who can really do this particular imaging, sorry, those of you who can take the photograph, they can take the photograph via the smartphone, and those of the participants who can really draw or sketch the phases of the moon, they are welcome to do so and share on the Padlet, upload on the Padlet with the proper guidelines as they have been provided on this particular course platform. After a certain interval of time, try to make creative collages of the photographs or of the drawings with the assistance from the team mentors who have already been given an orientation of in their pre-project time interval. And so this really can be, you can say, taken into this account. Now, one important thing that really, really needs to be accounted for is interaction on the team Padlet. We have not, you can say, done away with this activity. Commenting on your team page, cross commenting on other team pages, that is making cultural interactions, making you come out on the front stage. Take the lead. You means the participant as a team mentor. Take the lead. Express yourself. Find out. Explore. Do it. Learning by doing, experiential learning, all these things they come into the play on this particular activity number one. But yes, definitely this is not without precautions or cautions. It has been noted that people sometimes out of their excitement, they tend to share a few of the already, you can say, images or the resources which are copyrighted by authentic agencies, which belong to certain, you can say, professionals, or even if at the amateur level to somebody else, they are copyrighted by somebody. So if whatsoever the case is, the participants and the teams, they should be very, very careful while posting. The proper link of the resources they need to be given. If you are utilizing it, if it's yours, then the data belongs to you. But if it is somebody else, do not hesitate to mention the original source, because this time the tolerance policy of iSTEAM management is quite crystal clear. Any ambiguity in the posting of the images or on the posting of any of the resources which seem to belong to somebody like, say, Hubble Space Telescope or NASA archives without any proper citation, which can lead you into a trouble like copyright issues or like those sort of things, they will immediately be deleted, and the participation of that particular participant or the team, depending upon the gravity of the matter, it could be suspended by the ICT management. So be very careful of the copyright issues when you are posting. This is not to make a fear, but there is a sense of disciplined approach towards the project that we want to make, that we want you to be the creator of the data as a participant, and you to encourage your participants to create their own data as a team mentor. So at that level, we want the authenticity or the originality of the presentation. That is why this clause has been introduced. And we have done away with the earlier ways in which the online badges were presented, and we have brought in a new concept. Students completing this particular activity of this observational and posting on the Padlet and everything, they shall be given the online badge upon the nomination by the particular team mentor, and they will be called as iSTEAM Observational Amateur Astronomers. And this definitely is followed by cultural astronomy. And this time, the cultural astronomy also has seen a little bit of change. What we have done is we have tried to promote a sense of dialogue. Now, this particular activity has been created not only from the point of view of astronomy, but also from the point of view of the psychology as well. That here in the stage one, the participant will be encouraged to interact with the elders of the family, say his elder siblings, with his parents, grandparents, and uncles and aunties, neighbors, the elders, and try to assimilate the ideas of the cultural astronomy prevalent in that particular local culture that is local to that particular participant, and bring that those assimilated elements out in the form of, say, poetry, story, article, photograph, deep sky photography, drawing, sketching. And this is the only activity that is not only limited to the moon. The moon will be in the focus, definitely, but we have expanded the domain of cultural astronomy to the cosmos. Everything is welcome, provided it is cultural in nature and it is brought out after interaction. And this activity is definitely that part that has made this actual particular course as stream, because the students will be encouraged to do a literature study, browse over the internet, as I always mention jokingly or in a lighter vein, browse Professor Google, read read the archives of Professor Google, that how the elements of the astronomy, cultural astronomy is there. I'm hinting the students and the team mentors can even look into the softwares like Stellarium for the local sky lore. So all these things they really can work wonders. And here also do the research, go through this particular course and participate it. And then there is something new, stage two, that this time each team under the leadership of a team mentor will be encouraged to do the literature study of astronomical culture of a society outside the native region. Now, the native region does not necessarily means outside the country. Within a country also, there may be different, you can say, regions in which the astronomical culture may be different. For instance, there may be a certain place, I'm just giving an example of a calendar system, certain place in a nation where the lunar calendar is followed. And within that political boundary or the geographical boundary, there can be another place where the solar calendrical system is followed. So that is a different system. So the people from one team will be encouraged under the leadership or the guidance of a team mentor to go into the astronomical cultural studies of another region outside their local one and put their experiences, narrate their experiences by posting them on the Padlet. And here also we have issued a warning that the culture, I am very much crystal clear on behalf of iSTEAM, culture of cut, copy, paste. It is strictly discouraged. So please avoid this culture of cut, copy, paste. Whatever it is, try to be original. Try to be a poet rather than copying a poetry of some poet. Yeah, definitely. If you are posting the poem from some source, please post it, but cite the source also so that the original person who has done the hard work, his efforts are rewarded. But we will promote on only and only, you can say, your original work at the first step. Others, they are, you can say, the other work, definitely they are in the public domain, the links will stay, but we are trying to promote your original work. And people who qualify, who do both these stages of this activity too, they shall be given a brand of or an online badge of iSTEAM cultural astronomers. And so I again repeat, this is that R activity. Then the third activity, which is E and M and T, that is technology, engineering, and mathematics. It involves our NASA's Micro Observatory Robotic Network. You can go through it. The instructions are also there. Taking the images, the links are also there. Even the software links are there. The end products and everything definitely is mentioned. And the creator activity and all these things, they really can be carried out. And after that, there is a special guest lecture that we want to promote an interaction of the would-be astronomers with the real astronomers. They may be amateur, they may be professionals. That will be disclosed in the days to come. There could be, we will perhaps like to arrange the meetings of, that is the students, interaction of the students with special plenary session or keynote addresses of professional and amateur astronomers who have made their mark in the field of astronomy. Even though we will try to keep the concept simple, and if possible, we will try to relate it to the moon only within the scope of the project. But you can say this, in fact, is to promote the inquiry level of the inquiry and take the interest of the students to another level so that they climb the ladder of amateurship to the citizen science, and from citizen science to the real science or the deep science in the days to come. And definitely it will be followed by post project survey, but with a difference this time. Teachers, they will, or the team mentors, in fact, they're not simply the teachers, they are the mentors, they are grooming you. So that is why they are grooming the participants. So they are team mentors. Team mentors will be given a post project survey on with their discussing regarding their experiences while handling the team from the point of view of a mentor. And students, they will be given a set of questions after the pre-project survey so that we can trace their curve of growth with regards to the different aspects of this particular project and how this project has been beneficial for them. So the links of all these pre-project, post-project survey and everything, they will be released in the due date as we keep on progressing in the days to come. So definitely this was you can say not you cannot say it as a brief, but a detailed insight into this upcoming project Monoverse. And I really thank Miss Bonnie Truber, whose inception it actually is, and also the team, the core team members who are here with us in the form of the powerhouse, as I always mention, for iSTEAM Monoverse, with the quantum of knowledge that we always gain and the enthusiasm and the level of participation and dedication in the form of our two of our able mentors, especially Shri S.N. Sugumar Iyer ji and Mrs. Chitra Singh. So these two people are really, you can say, their feedback, their critical feedback, they have been instrumental in the formulation of this particular project and the growth, especially in the Indo-centric views. And definitely not to forget Dr. Suresh Iyer. He is a scientist and he has worked, you can say, an acclaimed person in his own field. And he also has been a pillar of strength for this entire team. And then definitely Mr. Suresh Meduru and Shri Sovan Acharya ji. Suresh Meduru, sir, is a classic example or a testimonial of the progress that can be done. Beginning as what the enthusiasm can cause you to become, beginning as a simple participant, then becoming a teacher, then becoming a team mentor. And today he is a part of the educator family of Monoverse. And so welcome Suresh sir to this group. And also Mr. Sovan Acharya ji from SS Citizen Science Group, who has done a lot of popularization work for Monoverse amongst his circles as part of the collaborating team of Saptarishi India and Ignited Minds Club or VIPNET Club. So this was a little bit of introduction to this Monoverse. Again, my parting comments are for this particular project are that please enroll onto the website as a team mentor. We will keep on rolling that particular project in the days to come. And the registration for the team starts on International Observe the Moon Night, that is on 21st of October. The orientation of the teachers is expected to start from Wednesday. And by the time the full moon arrives, the orientation of the teachers is expected to finish. And then we are, you can say, almost, you can say, in a mold to, we will be in a mold to launch this project open for the students once the teachers and the mentors, they get comfortable within the next 7 to 8 days. So with these words, I hand over the baton to Bonnie ma'am to announce the actual beginning of rolling out of Monoverse before we make the registration form public for the mentors on October 21st. Over to Bonnie ma'am.
Amritanshu, I thank you very much for that introduction. And I'm really pleased to see the people that are here. I'm hoping that we will have a great group. I know Suresh Meduru has a number of students who will be participating. Suresh, would you like to talk about the students that you have that will be participating and how many of them are new or how many of them were here last year? Suresh?
Greetings, ma'am.
Yes, I remember. For the presentation we had 2 weeks ago, the Lunar Nights presentation, all of your students were here covering the screen. And I'm wondering if all of those students will now be in the Moon Over Us. I'm very excited to see them again. I feel like I got to know a few of them, but I would like to know many more of them and what they're thinking and how they work together with you to put their wonderful images and words together on a Padlet. What do you have to say about that? How does the Padlet work for your class?
Ma'am, I am happy. It is my privilege to participate in the Moon Over Us, ma'am, program, ma'am. Actually, I am out of station. I am the signal is very weak, and at the same time, there is a traditional program. It is going on in Telangana. It is Batukamma. Batukamma. So, kindly excuse me to express my views. You please carry on, ma'am. Please.
Okay, thank you very much. And Sugumar, I know he is on the train. It seems like he is always traveling somewhere now. He was one of the first people who joined Moon Over Us that I got to know. His students made wonderful creative movies and told stories about the moon. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to do and say with the course this time. We have rearranged some things so that it's not the same course. It has many of the same images, much of the same work in it, but I think it's a little better organized so the students can jump right in and start doing artwork and writing. And I'm very pleased with that. I am also very pleased with the fact that we have a number of teachers from India signed up. And I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. I guess the main thing for Moon Over Us, let me find it again. Whoops. The first thing students need to be able to do is log in. So I'm about to log in. It says your session is timed out. Please log in again. But if this is their first time here,
Bonnie ma'am, excuse me, you need to share your screen, ma'am.
They need to create a new account. Or you can send me the information and I can create the accounts, but we need accurately their username, which they remember, their password, which is explained here, an accurate email address so that we can send them certificates. And also when they take a quiz, they earn a badge. The badges are emailed to them as well. So it's asked for email twice. The emails must not be duplicated. So that's another thing here. We need their first name and their surname. Why? So that the badges will reflect the right person. Their town and their country is also, their city and their town is also important. The country is generally, well, we have had people from a variety of countries taking this program. I think this time, I'm going to type it I for India, we'll have many, many more people from India than other countries, but other countries have been included. I've had Latvia, actually. I've had Kyrgyzstan. I have had Romania and the US. Morocco down here is another country that's participated. So we've had Nepal. We've had a variety of people participating, and it's fun to go through the names and look at all the people who've been participating and where they're from. So the country must be accurate also, and India is here somewhere. I think probably we'll have more people from India than other places this time. We also have a teacher from Brazil who I'm planning on having join us. For students, that's the information that's necessary. For teachers, we need to be able to get a hold of you to find out about your students or about what's happening in your class. So teachers then need to fill out this information. And right here it says title, position. If you put teacher, then you are enrolled as a teacher. If you put student, you're enrolled as a student, and you don't need to include as much information. And then it's very important to tell us where you heard about iSTEAM. This paragraph about your professional interests, I love hearing what students are interested in. Most teachers are teaching science. Professional goals, what do you want to do when you graduate? Or what would you like to be doing 10 years from now? And then, of course, you need to click I am not a robot and go through our CAPTCHA. After you've done that, you create an account. I'm going to cancel because I already have an account. So what I'm going to do now, this is a teacher and student, our two kids, is log in.
Vanu ma'am, your screen is not shared.
I'm what?
You need to share the screen, ma'am. Now your screen has stopped.
Whoa. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I just went through all of that without sharing the screen. I will now share my screen and show it to you once more. So right now I'm logged in. I'm going to go here, which is my screen. And as I click on the areas on the top of the screen, let's see, right now I'm showing you site administration, which you probably will never see. You can see that we did lunar nights. These pictures need to be reordered so that we have the moon over us first. And then we are a UN SDG. We try to represent these items in our courses and our information. As we go to the next page, this is our recent accomplishment, and we received a certificate from IAU, which will be posted here, and you're welcome to make a copy of it for things that you need to. It says, talks about moon over us. Now, if I'm logged in, so if I go to what's new, iSTEAM, moon over us, this is actually what Amritanshu was showing you. This talks about our project and the synopsis. The first thing that you and your students need to do is look at these videos. And I think these videos are tremendous. So you can see the moon getting smaller and smaller. And then it becomes a crescent and it disappears. Well, after it becomes a crescent, a waning crescent, it actually starts all over again, and the sun starts hitting this side of the moon. And you can see some people ask, why is this, do we only see this narrow strip? That's because this is what the sun can see. So what we're looking at here is what the sun can see as the moon slowly changes its shape and its size. So we're still in a crescent moon, And if you start looking carefully here, you can see where different astronauts, different spaceships have landed. You can see craters and lakes. You can see all the formations in the moon. And this is really, it's fascinating to me to watch. So if I move along a little further, I see, oh, there's pretty much a half moon. And you can see over here, if I move this back a little bit, or this is actually the first northern part. Oh, now you see almost it's too fast. So as I go back, I can see a waxing gibbous, which is just before the full moon. And I can look on this and I can see the craters and the different shapes that we see in the moon. I actually am fascinated with the rabbit right now, but some students have drawn bananas. Some students have drawn different things they see in the moon, different shapes they see in the moon. The shapes are because of the shading of the craters. So now I'm going to take you, this is the first vision of moon phases. And I think students will have a great time discovering these. So then India and most of the world that we know is in the northern hemisphere, which means above the equator. So if I then take you to the southern hemisphere, which is below the equator, India is above the equator. India is in, well, we'll just say India is above the equator right now. All of India. And if I take you now to the southern hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere, the moon appears to be upside down. So you can see here's my favorite crater called Tycho. And if you look at the moon from the southern hemisphere, Tycho is on top. And the place where India landed, was it Chandrayaan-3, is also on top for the southern hemisphere. If you look at the northern hemisphere, it's actually on the bottom of the moon. So that's one way to think about when you're looking at the moon from the underside of the world. I will say your new living space, which has water in it, is actually appears to be on the top of the moon. That's from Australia, South Africa, south of Brazil, different places below the equator. When you look at it from India, Chandra landed on the bottom of the moon. Tycho is also on the bottom of the moon. Now, I put Tycho because it is the most obvious crater to me. It's light, it's white, and it's easy to find. So if I look at the southern hemisphere, I see Tycho rotating, and I actually see it starting to disappear. This is a 3/4 moon. Now let's just go along a bit. And here's a crescent. This is a waning crescent moon. And as we see, we get this very thin strip, which is amazing to look at. There was a post in WhatsApp which had this very thin strip, and it had stars and different things on it. And the person wanted to know, if the moon is solid, why do we see things in here? It's because of a reflection. So now if I continue, and remember, we're looking at the southern hemisphere now, disappears, and then we'll see the crescent start on the other side. And there's the half moon. Let's see a little more. Looking for Tycho, but I can't see Tycho yet. Yes, there it is. So Tycho is about here when you're looking at the moon in the southern hemisphere. This is important because it helps you, well, direction-wise, if you're out at sea, it helps you know where you are if you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, and then you can figure out where you are in the ocean with your tricorder, just looking at the moon, actually, if it's clear night. So now if I go, I think I'm going to stop this, but I want you to analyze these two, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and see why they're different and figure out some reasons why it's important for you to know the differences. Then we can probably talk about latitude and longitude and where you are on Earth by looking at the moon. Okay, so as we go down, this is a picture that was done by a person in China, in Beijing, China. Beijing, China is more polluted than Delhi, India ever was or is. In Delhi, India, you can sometimes see the sky, but in Beijing, China, the sky is always gray and overcast. There's never a day or a night where you see the moon or the sun. It's lighter, the sky is lighter in the day, and it's darker at night, but that's it. So this was his picture of what the moon looks like above the pollution in his city. And I was amazed. You can see this is pollution, and it's simply, you never get to see these shapes of the moon unless you go out away from Beijing. I think in India, you get to see the shapes of the moon sometimes. The pollution is not as bad. So that's an amazing picture. And I think right now, I'm going to stop and I'm going to give you the assignments of going through and really examining this in detail before next week. So you have the moon over the northern hemisphere, which is where India is, and also Beijing, and also many other cities and countries that we know. The southern hemisphere has fewer countries, but it does have quite a few people who can see the moon. It just looks upside down. But to them, it doesn't look upside down at all. It looks right side up. And then if you take a look at this, take some time and have your students draw what the moon looks like where they are. So they can draw, if it's a full moon, they can draw a full moon, give us a quarter moon, a crescent, or they can draw all moons, but give us an idea, and this represents the pollution level of how clear the moon is. If it's cloudy, that's fine. The moon can just be a lighter spot in the sky. If it's rainy, then it's a gray sky usually, but have them draw an image of the moon and have them post it in Padlet. And if you don't know how to use Padlet, we'll talk about that next week. So that what I would like is for those drawings and maybe some discussion to be on Padlet. And then we will get into our library and visualizing phases of the moon after they've had a chance to look at these two movies and actually do some artwork. I'm asking for artwork first this time, rather than pictures of the moon, so that we can see what the kids see in their minds when they see the moon. And I keep thinking of 2 years ago, the banana. It was a crescent moon, and it was a very good drawing. But I thought, that looks so much like a banana. I wondered if the student was hungry and wanted some of his lunch. At any rate, that's what I'm going to say today. Now, is anything from anyone else? Amritanshu? Or anyone else want to say anything?
Yeah, so what happens is that this time you can say, as Bonnie ma'am has just informed to all the honorable people who shall be listening to us via this, especially via the recorded session, when the recorded session is aired on the YouTube channel. So the first request to all the honorable 2V team mentors is kindly register on the link that we shall be providing, and then do join us for the orientation sessions, especially for the tools that we are going to employ in the course of this iSTEAM Monoverse, like the Padlet, as it has been mentioned by Bonnie ma'am. So, and like the micro observatory that we had just seen through in the beginning of the project, or in fact, even it can be, you can say, astrophotography section, that is the mobile phone. So, if the mentor is comfortable with all these tools of technology, all these engineering methodologies, all these mathematical algorithms at a very basic level, then he or she, that is, I'm talking about the team mentor, he or she can be, you can say, in great sync psychologically with the team, and the team shall definitely perform exceedingly well in an outstanding manner. And this time, as I have already hinted at, in this, especially in the field of cultural astronomy, we are going to explore it on the basis not only that particular activity has been devised from the point of view of astronomy, but definitely it will, you can say, it can be a revolutionary way to bridge out something. I'm taking it out of the context of this moon over us. It can be, you can say, psychological activity where you can strike a dialogue between the elders of your family, and it can help you build good and greater and deep relations within the family as well, there by this healthy dialogue in the form of the moon over us. So it's not simply be making friends with the sky, but this time moon over us is also aiming to build, you can say, better dialogue within the family via the this entire under this entire canopy of science and astronomy. So there are different aspects which really can be explored, and so in fact this is a defining moment. I will not take much of your time. It's, in fact, this is a defining moment where we need to move forward, because the world is ever evolving. It definitely was a STEM once upon a time, then it became STEAM. But as the progress goes, we need to be informed about what others are doing, what the people in the society they are thinking. So reading is one of those aspects which cannot be neglected. So the how well informed you are, this in fact is a psychological and a scientific test of time that moon over us is going to take in the course as it proceeds through the course of its activity 1, 2, 3, 4. They simply are not the activities. They are the engagement points. And I wish all luck and success to the mentors and to the students in the days to come, and hope you come out in the flying colors. As I mentioned, iSTEAM, citizen scientists, iSTEAM, cultural astronomers, iSTEAM, observational amateur astronomers of today, and professional astronomers of tomorrow. Who knows? So, best wishes on behalf of Team iSTEAM. And as Bonnie ma'am has just explained to you, the psychology that what is how this even the single image that has been put up on this particular portal has been has undergone a thought process. It simply has not been put up because it is an image, so it has to be there on the course. No, a lot of thinking has undergone. Has we have discussed, debated on each image or each concept that has been put on moon over us, and it will evaluate you, you can say fourfold. That is in the terms of increasing of your aptitude, increase in your aptitude towards astronomy. Secondly, it will check your self efficacy, it will check your self motivation, and it will also you can say provide us an insight with regards to your learning experiences, so that we can keep on making such sort of projects for the students in the days to come. So this is in fact an interactive message that I wanted to give in front of you all on behalf of Team iSTEAM, comprising of our leader, Bonnie ma'am, the CEO and Director, Educational Continuum, the team of the educators, especially Mr. S.N. Sugumar Iyerji and Mrs. Chitra Singh, who you shall be encountering and who you shall be meeting over the course of the project as the project proceeds. And they are the, you can say, indispensable and two solid concrete pillars of this, over which this, especially this observational and the cultural astronomy of moon over Earth stands. They have got their own range of activities and their own experiences. And you definitely are, you can say, well in the spot in the group to get benefited from the experiences of Chitra ma'am and S.N. Sugumar Iyer sir, and also the enthusiasm, the dynamism, and the new ideas of our two one of the new mentors who have been inducted by Bonnie ma'am, Mr. Suresh Meduru, who will be guiding you on the different aspects time and again as per his availability and the schedule. So, and also the popularization work that is being done by Mr. Sovan Acharya with the different citizen science projects, especially speaking in the terms of the moon. So, it is definitely a well balanced activity that, in our opinion, that ICE team has tried to make out of it. Now, the onus lies upon the team mentors that please join us, come hand in hand with us, and let's walk together onto the path of astronomical observations. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Over to one man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this. So I'm on this assignments for next week. People need to create accounts. If you don't have an account created, you need to send me a list of the student, login name, password, first name, last name, email address, and your name. And I can create them, but if the students create them, they remember their passwords much better. Okay, that's one. Then two, I would like students to draw pictures of the moon in their area and post them on Padlet. If that's difficult, which is for some of you, the internet, I know the internet signals go up and down and up and down. So that is a difficulty that everyone has, I think. Every student does not need to be here, but every student does need to post an assignment. So that's, I guess that's where I am. I want to see the work the students are doing. I'd love to see all their faces, but seeing all their faces, the connections are hard for you to make. So I'm sorry that this is so verbal instead of visual, but that's what I would like to see happening. Now, I want to thank Amritanshu for doing all of this. And he is actually the person who has, I think he's fallen in love with the moon over us more than I have. I think he has learned more about the moon than I ever will. But at the same time, he also is a better speaker than I am now. I'm just getting old. And I want to see things done. Sugu will be speaking to us too when he gets off his train. And he also does a very good job. He's a very determined person. And I'm sort of a nice, sweet, what? I guess I'm a determined person too. At any rate, Venturous Meduru is one of our new teachers, and he's working very hard to keep his students going in all of this. And I'm really pleased with the group we have so far this year. I'm looking for more teachers, but I'm happy. So thank you for making me happy. And I will say, if you have something else you want to say, I will turn this over to Amritanshu.
Bonnie ma'am, you have forgotten Chitra ma'am. And Chitra ma'am is also here. She has joined the meeting. Hello.
Oh, Chitra.
Yeah. Chitra ma'am is there in the meeting. She has joined us. Welcome, Chitra ma'am.
I actually can't see her, but that's all right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitra. Chitra is another one of our teachers who has, I think, she learned as much as her students did the first time she was here. And now she is very good at explaining everything and also writing papers to help students learn. And she also publishes things in magazines to help students learn. So I am very pleased with having her here. And I would like to see her face, but I think she's hiding. Okay, any other comments? Yes. Chitra, welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
So, Chitra ma'am, now I would turn it over to you, or you can say officially, you can say summarizing the things with regards to Moon Over Us, wishing all the students for participation so that we can come to the closure of the session of formal session of the day before we continue informally later. Over to Chitra ma'am.
Nothing I have to say because I joined very late. I was on walk and in fact, either I forgot that, and as I came back and I saw that there is a call from you, and I have gone through that. Then I came to know that we have meeting. In fact, what I listened.
If you can relate a little bit of the experiences of yours, so that it can be an encouragement for the mentors and the teachers, and that can be a perfect conclusion for Moon Over Us curtain raiser today. So where we want to hear from the experiences in terms of your experiences with Moon Over Us.
Of course, because we are throwing light on so many aspects of moon, only not the brightness of this, but cultural and drawing and poem and that our LCO and mobile photography and so many things. In this way only, they can the students or the mentors or whomsoever it may be, they will get themselves more related with this object, in my opinion. This is the only thing I want to mention.
Thank you, Chitra ma'am. And yes, definitely, to summarize the things, making friends with the sky. And moon, in fact, is the celestial neighbor, the closest, the choicest celestial neighbor. And it has not only been with us ever since time immemorial, it has been an indispensable part of the management of time, maybe in the form of calendars or so. So we are looking into the cosmos via moon as one of the choicest observation tools available with us as the Earthlings. So join us together on this platform, Moon Over Us, the stream project of iSTEAM Cosmic Academy. To see you all together soon. Best wishes to all the upcoming team mentors and the participants from all the corners of the globe. With these words, the team, iSTEAM, signs off for the day. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.